Hey, Matt Noren at the Community Workbench. I proudly sponsor the Community Workbench and everything that it represents for local entrepreneurs. And speaking of which, I am a local entrepreneur. I am a realtor with Remax Bell Park in Hayville, Connecticut. Fully licensed in Connecticut to do commercial, rentals, and residential. I absolutely love my job, love working with clients. So if you are in any need for a realtor, please give me a call, 860-428-6534. Your dreams are my job. Welcome to the Community Workbench. This is Matt Noren and Kyle Morrissey. We are your hosts of the #1 podcast in my basement. At the bench, we try to repair the sense of community. So every week we bring you small businesses, entrepreneurs, community leaders, charities, and pretty much whoever we feel like talking to. And today we feel like talking to Jordan Zach of Salute Bar Cart. How you doing, Jordan?
Oh, we're doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Welcome. Talk to us about this cart.
Yeah, man.
First off, Salute
Bar Cart.
Yeah, what is that?
Yep.
Give me the history on the name, I guess.
No history.
Isn't that like a way of saying cheers?
It is a way of saying cheers. Okay. I think it's actually pronounced like salute. Everybody says something different. We say salute. It's easy. Mm-hmm. We're in America, so Salute Bar Cart.
It's fair.
We're based in Killingly. We've been doing this for 2 years now. It's my wife and I. We focus on weddings, but we do birthday parties and graduation parties and all those things. But we're not just like a bar. We actually have like a tap truck that we can drive. I heard your question. We actually have to trailer it. We trailer it to events, but it does drive. But
is it three wheels or four?
It's three.
Yeah, three. Okay.
That's man. If you get cool. hit,
yeah. I mean, it can be street legal. We could put it on the road. I mean, wow. I've gotten that thing up, 45. Not going to disclose that location I drove that on, but that thing it moves. But it's just it's kind of like I would hate to get in an accident with that. Mm-hmm. Plus for my life, yeah.
Well, that's what I was referring to.
Yeah, exactly. So we trailer it, and we basically like set up a bar in front of it. We can put anything on tap, typically like cocktails and stuff like that. And we can go anywhere, which is cool. Yeah. Like we pulled it up right on the side of a pool at a pool party. I mean, we've done everything, so it's cool.
That's cool. And like you said, like anything can go in it, and just so everybody knows, that's like beer, wine, mocktails, kids drinks, Kool-Aid, whatever.
Oh yeah, we've done stuff with like candy in the drinks. I mean, anything.
Candy in the drinks. How does that work?
Just one had like Sour Patch Kids in it. We've done
like full Sour Patch Kids?
Yeah,
liquid.
No, like full Sour.
Wow.
Listen, the kids love sugar, so whatever it is, right? Lots of grenadine. That's all you need.
Yeah. Shirley Temple up the wazoo.
But like the last graduation party, maybe not the last one. We did like a Taylor Swift themed like lavender mocktail.
Sounds fantastic.
You and Kyle are gonna have a lot to talk about.
I gotta throw in Taylor Swift's name because I know that makes the podcast get bigger on the search engine.
Hashtag.
So, yeah, exactly.
That's wild.
And I think Kyle's a Swiftie. You're just playing his side.
I've heard. Listen, I did my research. I heard he's a Swiftie. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was listening
Not that Kyle's a Swiftie, but it's awesome that
I was listening to the Chubby Dog today.
And did you hear he knows way more about her than I do? I know nothing about her.
Yeah. That album. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Point made.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. So we
So you trailer it there, and then you can drive it anywhere.
Exactly.
And it's like not huge, so you can drive it on lawns and stuff.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. So we go to like our three main wedding venues. We go to Evergreen Farms right down the road from us in Killingly. We can drive that, pretty much park it kind of wherever on their near the venue, park it near the cornhole, park it, but like we'll set up the bar inside.
Mm-hmm.
Typically people prefer the inside bar sometimes, especially if there is an inside bar. And then another big one we go to is Angel Anchor Farm in Sterling. So that's a farm, and there isn't an indoor bar. So that we just drive that wherever in their big
Yeah,
outdoor
wherever they're having a
wedding
party.
space. Yeah, and we'll just set up the bar right there. We got a mobile bar set up with the tap truck and all the coolers, and we're there. And then Hope Lodge, we were talking about Hope
Oh,
Lodge.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's another one where we'll set up inside.
So you can get the truck inside the car?
No.
Inside
No,
it?
no, no.
Oh.
Like at the indoor bar. At the indoor bar.
All right,
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
We
So you're like a bartender for hire as well as has
correct.
the cart.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cart is we always include it with every single booking, but which is cool because it's like an added bonus. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have that, and people
Right.
use it for just photo ops.
Yeah.
You know, they can sit in it. You know, the bride and groom can hang out on it and take cool photos, whatever they want. They can drive it if they want. I don't. It doesn't
Whoa,
matter.
That's
yeah.
cool.
yeah.
Why didn't you bring it? I don't
Yeah, you could have brought it right in
I
here.
could've- oh, we could have. Yeah.
Well, we could ride around outside.
Yeah. We're doing an event in 2 weeks.
I haven't flipped that bar. Flipped a lot of vehicles. I haven't flipped one of those yet.
It flips easy. It does like it turns at a 90-degree angle because of the front wheel, because
Yeah.
it's the 3 wheels. So
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
just like. So in 2 weeks from now, we're doing an event indoors, and we're actually driving it indoors. And so it's not the first time we've done it, but it'll be cool. It'll be cool,
Yeah.
especially in the.
I mean, if you got like a gymnasium or something, right? That
Yeah.
big doors.
Oh yeah,
you know.
it's not very tall and not very wide, so
Maybe I'm crazy to ask this, but is it gas, diesel,
it's gas. Yeah.
propane? Okay.
Gas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a motorcycle engine. You know.
Oh.
Where did you find that?
So our business partner actually sold it to us. So
Oh.
he wasn't our business partner at the time, right? So Woodfellas Pizza Oven, a pizza truck, and pizza and wings. So they have a spot in New London, and then do you know about the axe throwing in Montana Nights?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
they have
Trying
a
to
spot
get them
there
on
now.
here. So
Yeah.
if you have a connection,
I got one.
Tell them to reply to my email.
No, it's a really cool spot right there. Those would be good people to have on. But he is the restaurant in there. So, and then also if you go to Black Dog, it's their pizza, like Marley's Pizza. So
okay.
he's got his hands kind of all over. Amazing pizza, and he has pizza trucks as well. Multiple pizza trucks he does. He's constantly busy. So, amazing pizza. And he's our business partner.
And it's a wood-fired pizza truck.
Correct.
So
he
that's
has all
like-
these trucks with wood,
I love wood-fired
it's so
pizza.
good.
It's so good.
Yeah, yeah. So, we used to drive all the way to New London to get his pizza, but now we can just go to Putnam, which is awesome. You can just go there and eat. You know, you don't have to throw axes. You know, just go there and get pizza if you want.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And so the tap truck itself, how many taps do you have on?
5 taps.
Five
Yeah.
taps.
Yeah.
So you get.
We've never done it fully loaded, honestly.
Could it handle it?
I don't know.
Yes, it could.
Yeah, it could.
I mean, you
A
might
little
not be
engine
able...
that could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the setup is tough. Like you have to, the way that we set it up is, so basically you have the kegs that we put either outside or inside of the back little area of this thing. You'd have to look at a photo really to get the idea. And then inside you have a cold plate, like this big steel plate that has all the tap lines running through it, and it's inside of a cooler, and you fill the cooler with ice, get that really cold, and so hopefully the keg is cold, it's sitting in some ice, and then it runs through, because especially for beer, temperature can't change. I mean, it has to be dialed. So it's tough, especially if we're traveling a distance.
Yeah.
So cocktails are always what I push for. It's so easy, you know, put anything like that on there, but yeah.
And that's cool. So this is like a CO2 keg, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
do you do that, or do you order a keg?
So
or-
we can order the kegs. Yes, we have what we call corny kegs, so we can put anything inside of the kegs. So that's how we do the mocktails, and we'll make big batch cocktails, and we just use these corny kegs. Really easy to clean and keep sanitized. So that's why we use those. So we just hook them up, and we got to clean the lines and everything afterward, and you can run whatever you want through it. So.
Did you get? So I brought it up on the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you guys painted it?
Nope. So that came from New York City. It was a meter truck giving out tickets. So
That's so cool.
we bought it. It was already painted. So it was already painted, and pretty much what you're looking at is it was set up like that. We've done like little things to it.
Like add the kegs and the taps.
The taps were on it. Yeah, we bought it as a tap truck. Yeah.
Wow.
So somebody down in New London, this was a business for a few months. They tried to, get their feet wet with it, and then just, it's hard.
Yeah.
They had a full career job as well, and so they sold it, and so that's how we got it.
Gotcha.
We saw the opportunity and was like, this is cool. Like,
Just buy it from my house.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's like, all right. We looked at each other. We're like, well, it's a big investment, but worst thing that happens is we just put this in our backyard. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So just so you know, if you ever expand to like a second and third truck, I actually know a guy that builds those.
Where's he out of?
I don't want to say yet.
Oh, okay. I know a guy too, and I'm curious.
Yeah, we can talk
about it,
afterwards. Yeah. So, because I don't know how public he is with any of that. But.
Yeah. Secret business. It's like the mob.
Well, it's not.
That's what we aim to have on people.
But the thing is I don't know if he would necessarily do it because he owns his own franchise of.
Oh,
these,
gotcha.
Okay. So that's all. But
yeah, cool.
But if you need repairs, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think most businesses, even if it's on like the down low, like to support each other. I feel
sure.
that is the vibe now. It is not eat all and crush all type of thing that business used to be. I feel like now, especially in your local business communities, it's more of a help each other out thing to thrive. So
yeah. That's why we love.
That's what we promote here, anyway.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's why I listen to your podcast every week.
We really appreciate that.
Yeah. Of course.
So,
Yeah.
And how long have you been in business?
2 years.
2 years.
So,
and
yeah.
so, like, how far out have you gone? You said traveling's kind of tough.
So we're just licensed for the state of Connecticut.
Okay.
We have gone almost 2 hours.
Wow.
But now we're just, we're just staying local if we can. I mean, people will come and request, and we'll still work with it. But if we can stay local, that's what we really push. We love this area, and we love getting like local beers. Like I'm trying to get Black Dog actually as one of our distributors. We'd love to have like their beer. Like we just want to give back to the community more and like just stay over here in the corner.
Yeah.
So
who'd you say you want?
Black Pond.
Black Pond.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay. Yeah. We love Black Pond. They've been on.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
They'll be on again. That's for sure. If you're
Yeah.
out there, Black Pond, you'll be on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I always give them a plug. One of the things was we were just talking about Veterans Day and Memorial Day, and we were gonna have a Memorial Day special, and they just instantly were like, "Dude, we will donate all the beer."
That's awesome.
Brought a cooler over. He's like, "Fill it up. Take what
Yeah.
you want." And I was like, "That's so cool." It was like, and then we had a really good podcast with it was over 3 hours. It was almost 4 hours for the Memorial Day special.
Oh, yeah.
And the 3 veterans that came on were just awesome, sharing their stories and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. Viewer discretion advised on that one.
Not for everybody. Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, to collaborate with the locals like that.
Yeah,
It's
like-
and there's a lot of breweries around here, and,
And
they're
wineries.
all
Wineries
great.
too.
Yeah,
The
breweries and
wine is a
wineries.
big
Yeah,
thing. So yeah, we're trying to like hone in on that. Just be more involved in the community here.
Yeah.
One, it's nice. I like being on the business associations, the Chamber
Yeah.
of Commerce. Like we got an awesome area in
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's so great.
Yeah.
Super supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and good people. So
yeah. The Northeast Chamber of Commerce and like Putnam Business Association,
Killingly, business
Killingly,
association,
and
yep.
Brooklyn Business Association, just
Yeah.
all phenomenal people. Just everybody's just out for the same thing. Like let's
Yeah.
promote local business. It's
Exactly.
like it's such a cool thing to be a part of. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys are part of that. That's
Yeah.
a big deal. So,
Yeah, it's fun.
will you be at the Fire and Ice?
I don't think so. There's another. So we are not the only bar service. There's another bar service, and they live up the road from you. You know what I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so Daly's Pours.
Yeah.
We're friends
Oh,
with them.
yeah.
I
They are
grew
great.
up
They are
with
great.
Daly,
Yeah.
So we're friends
Yeah.
with them. We work with them. We give each other leads and
Nice.
stuff.
Yeah.
They're great. I think they did Fire Nights last
They
year.
did.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. They were
They're a
awesome.
di-
Shout
yeah.
out to Daly's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a DJ. They're a
The
DJ, too.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was a great
yeah,
guy.
they were right next to the Remax balloon, at Fire and Ice last year. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
we had
Yeah.
we had some engagement. It was
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a lot
Oh,
of
I
fun.
bet. Oh, I bet.
They were great. So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, they were playing music and serving. I actually think they were only serving mocktails at the
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
and,
Yeah, it's tough with the public stuff.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
like that's why we have been invited to do like these big farmers market things, like little fairs all across the state, and it's just like you got to have a beer garden. You have to have all these permitting things, and so for
Yeah.
us, it's like it is great marketing. Like,
Yeah,
it's
and
great,
exposure and stuff like that,
exposure,
yeah.
but yeah,
But a lot of farmers markets are like
that's the other thing.
10 on a Saturday morning.
Yeah,
Man,
a lot of
dude.
those are middle of the day.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. 'em.
Yeah.
Coventry.
Yeah, God.
Coventry Farmers Market, man, it's like 10 to 2, 10 to 1. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
That's
Although if you
fantastic.
can put coffee in there,
Yeah, no, yeah. I was always thinking
like a cold
iced
brew
coffee. Or cold brew. You're
Yeah.
a cold brew guy, I know. I know
cold
that.
brew.
So, yeah.
He really does
I-
watch.
I
That's
know,
a,
I know like
so
everything about you
awesome.
guys, right?
That's so awesome.
maybe we're too revealing.
Yeah, you're putting out all your cards. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys are different than dailies in this, like the
Very
niche.
different.
Like
That's what I
they
mean.
can't
So-
pull that trick. Like they're not trying to do what you guys are doing.
It's a
you know?
different it's a different thing, and we
Right.
respect that of each other. And so yeah, it's all good,
Yeah.
because it's
Now, is there always a bartender with the truck?
Yeah,
itself?
yeah,
So,
so-
like, even if it's just like open bar and or
right, yeah, because
you still have a
we're
bartender.
we're licensed bartenders. We have to serve the alcohol,
right.
right?
But even if it's an open bar with non-alcohol, all non-alcoholic,
Oh,
like kids party,
non-alcoholic. Oh yeah, I mean,
it doesn't become self-serve and
It could
cheaper.
be. It
Oh,
could
okay.
Drop it off.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just put a bunch of like Capri Sun on tap.
Yeah.
That'd be. I mean, we haven't done that, but we could. But
Well, I've definitely been to events where there's a beer truck, and I won't mention the national brand that it is, but they just
Yeah.
drop it off, and everybody just,
oh yeah.
and I didn't know.
Well, so here's
Like,
the thing.
But yeah, then they could have. I was overserved, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Because you
but-
served yours.
Yeah, exactly. I can't be trusted with that.
the alcohol business is
My
weird.
serve safe expired.
It's a weird business because like who provided the alcohol, right?
Right.
Like maybe that party did.
Oh,
And-
yeah,
and
I'm
they
sure.
they put it, and they were just renting out the.
It was part of the
equipment,
ticket.
right?
Yeah,
It's like
ticket to get in.
if you rent a popcorn machine at your birthday party and someone chokes on the popcorn, they can't really sue the popcorn company. I don't know. Maybe they could. But,
Well,
You can
um,
sue anything.
you could.
Yeah.
You could
That's why
sue
you
them.
sign a release.
Will they? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good idea. Now you got me thinking. I could just rent this out, and people could just do what they want with it, and I could just have it as an equipment.
Yeah.
Right.
Never really thought about that, but
I mean, for the non-alcoholic, yeah.
For
You just
non-alcoholic.
like, yeah.
oh yeah,
For
easy.
non-alcoholic.
The only thing
yeah.
you got to worry about is people don't care about other people's
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
This
Yeah,
thing
they
does-
drive that three-wheeler. They
No,
get
no,
drunk
he-
enough.
no.
It's it's going over.
Not leaving the keys.
Well, it's a problem. There is no key. That's why my address
Said
is
it
not
publicly.
disclosed.
Publicly.
I mean, I don't know. There's just no key on those things.
Oh, really?
It's sort of
Because
like
it's a
a
meter truck.
yeah, it's sort of like a four-wheeler. So it's a Cushman truckster, which is a they make them for like lawn work. So
Yeah, the golf
okay.
courses are like
Yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
Cushman.
Okay.
right,
Yeah.
but there are keys on golf carts. So
There are. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
but
probably just
if you're,
that model.
yeah, but
that
if
they
you're a
had.
if
They're
you're
like,
a meter maid, they probably just figured nobody's ever gonna steal
No,
this.
I would want that.
I don't know if meter maid is the correct term to use.
Meter
but if
person?
It's but if it's a police officer
Mm.
in it all the time,
They're
I mean,
not. They're not a police officer.
how do you know? There's
They're meter people.
how do you know who is assigned to it all the time?
We digress.
Yeah, I know at some of the campuses, it's like it's a car now that just like reads the license plate. They're not registered to be in there, issues a ticket on their account. Like that's how
Yeah.
like a lot of campuses are now. So
That's cool.
that's probably like a dinosaur in the meter
Mm.
reading world.
Is it a regular steering wheel or is it like one of those? It's like a U, like a
Like
oblong.
a bow tie
Yeah,
looking
oblong.
thing.
Regular steering.
Oh,
wheel.
okay.
Steering wheel.
Yeah, it's pretty normal inside.
Sure.
The engine is underneath the seat. You just lift the seat up. That's the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the back is just a big open space where we keep all the alcohol. So pretty easy.
That's cool.
So when you work with like local, like if you had like wine on tap from someone local, they provide the quarter keg or whatever too. You're not like at home filling these things, right?
No.
Well, I just think about the Capri Sun you're trying to put in there.
Well, yes. So if it is non-alcoholic, then yeah. I mean, because we just have these like corny kegs. Like, so they just, you just open the top of the kegs. But like, if you were to buy a keg of Bud Light, let's say, you can't like open
No,
the keg.
you can't.
It's
Yeah.
weird. So yeah, corny kegs, you can like just take the lid off.
Oh, okay.
And you can fill it with whatever, and then you can just put it back on. It's and pressurize it, and it's good to go.
Could you imagine filling beer and something like that, trying not to get the head?
Oh man.
And then driving an hour without it getting flat.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beer is really hard. It's hard to be on tap. Not easy.
Just getting it there and cold and staying cold, and
Yeah,
staying the same.
without trying to get the perfect pour, it's not easy because it just the temperature needs to be perfect. Can't shake it around. Ideally you have to let it sit for like 24 hours if you move it before you start tapping it. Ideally, right? You go to those like college parties, the kids just like drinking foam because they just like carry it down.
Literally
rolled it in.
I've done that. I roll or just like
We knew you were that weak.
Okay, let's see you put a half keg in my truck.
Yeah.
Weak.
So you it's loaded. You trailer it to these places, however far away, and then you have to deal with the aftermath until it gets to a point where you can serve, right?
Yeah, well, so I mean, we're talking a lot about the beer kegs. Unfortunately, we don't do beer on tap a lot because of that. So it's typically it's always cocktail. I mean, we'd like to make fresh cocktails. I mean, love shaking a cocktail and pouring a fresh cocktail. But if there's like a lot of cocktails they want on the menu, we'll do some on tap. If they're not carbonated, if they're easy cocktails to put on tap, there's not like fruit in it, or we'll just put like some of the ingredients on tap, and then we'll just garnish it with the extra stuff once we pour it out. But yeah, we set everything up, and typically an event is like 5-6 hours, and we're there serving, and all the bottles, beers, bottles, wine, all in like a bunch of coolers that we bring. We put them in the bar cart, put them behind the bar, or whatever. Yeah. I mean, but it's cool because the people who go to the events that we're at are always in a good mood.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we're not dealing with like that. Jesse and I were never bartenders. Like I was a waiter in a restaurant, Grill 37. Shout out.
Oh, yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah, right.
Just for being away, I couldn't work around food. I'd eat everything.
Oh,
but
it's not easy.
But yeah, shout out to anyone who's a waiter or waitress.
Big
That
time.
is like,
Big time.
I have the utmost respect. That's like if I'm with anyone that's mean to a wait staff, I will go to the bathroom. I will pay the waiter or waitress to mess with them and leave.
That is
Just like I cannot stand when people are disrespectful to
they're
for
serving
what they go
Yeah,
through. I just like, man,
It's their job. It's respectable.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's just there are a lot of people like that in the world.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of experience in that realm. So getting this business when we started this, we were a little like nervous about that, but then we shortly realized like everybody's always like we haven't had a bad experience, jinx, knock on wood,
hey,
with
funny
like
that.
a certain client, right, or
Right.
a customer or somebody at an event, just because everybody's pretty stoked to be at these events, their weddings, their graduation parties, their pool parties, their birthday parties, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Plus, you have a cool truck.
Yeah, it's so such like a novel or
Yeah.
novelty thing. It's
Exactly.
Like, it's so cool to see that. Like, I'm sure you guys get bombarded with questions all the time.
Oh yeah, I had to learn a lot about a Cushman truckster. I got a lot of questions, and then we did this one event, and it was at a campground. It was a bridal shower at a campground, and it was if you've ever had like been to like a campground season.
Oh, yeah.
You have a golf cart.
Yeah.
So there's all these luxury, fancy lifted golf carts pulling in because they're pulling in from their campers in the summer, and everybody's like going crazy. because they know everything about these
Yeah.
golf
Yeah,
cart
yeah,
things.
they've tricked
right?
theirs out
They've
and
tricked
everything.
theirs
Yeah,
out. So
yeah.
I was like, yeah. And we got a good contact from that who is like on call to do some maintenance on our
Oh, nice.
tap truck anytime we need it, because I'm not an engine guy. I don't know anything about that stuff. So anytime I need to do an oil change on that, I don't.
Yeah,
If
but
neither
if
of-
it, well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, since neither of you are bartenders and you
Yeah.
waited,
Mhm.
what got you thinking this is what you wanted to try and do?
Well, so again, it's not our full time thing, right?
Yeah.
So, this is like the fourth sort of business that I dove into.
Yeah, I was told you were a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I love that term. I just love saying
it's a
that
good
term.
So, like, I just saw this as a good opportunity to one, have fun, see what happens, grow it. And another thing is, if you want to like build an amazing relationship with your significant other, go into a business with them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, our relationship, we got married a month before we bought this, so it was like our wedding gift to each other. We're gonna buy this thing. We're gonna make it a business, and so, I mean, but our relationship's like completely blossomed because we've, you see a different side
Yeah.
of your significant other with a business,
Yeah.
So that was a huge thing that played into it, but yeah, I mean, it's we learned how to be bartenders. We just were like, we're gonna figure it out. I was like watching YouTube videos for every night.
Because I
months.
guess you don't have to be licensed or certified because
So
you're
we
not
did.
work. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did. So we get like tip certified
Yeah.
and things like that, because you're liable.
I took
Yeah.
the bartender course
Yeah,
years
yeah.
ago, and they called it Serve Safe.
Serve safe, yeah.
And yeah, I was good at the Serve Safe. I believe it or not, I could recognize a drunk really well. It's like I scored top in the class for that, but remembering the recipes for drinks was like so tough for me.
Oh.
I could not. I had such a hard time with that.
You gotta have years of experience.
yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily for us, we have the easy card because we're a mobile bar. So yes, we try to bring, especially like if we're going to Evergreen Farms for an example, right down the road, we can bring a lot because they have a big indoor bar area, so we can bring a lot of different things, or the client provides us with stuff as well. So there's that option. So we can have a lot of different liquors and things like that, but typically we can't like just show up to a field and have an entire restaurant full bar
You might expect
in our
it.
back pocket.
Yeah.
So you can't be coming up if I don't have like ingredients for something wild on, then I just can't make it for you. So
Right. Yeah.
at first we just needed to learn how to make what was on the menu really good.
Yeah.
And then from there we started to learn more and more and more drinks. And
Yeah.
so
To venture out.
So do you typically have a set menu, or you will bring bottles and be like, if we have it, we'll make it?
no set menu. So everybody requests whatever they want, and we'll so they can request it, or we can just make the menu for them. So yeah, I just got a booking today. It was 5 different cocktails, which I've never done 5 signature drinks at once. It's typically like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But we're excited for it, because it's gonna be a lot of like hands-on, make sure we got all the ingredients, the garnishes, for those signature drinks, and then you got to think about the mixers for the other stuff, right?
Right,
If somebody
yeah.
wants a rum and coke,
Yeah.
make sure we have rum if it's not one of those signature drinks,
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah, for my wedding, we did beer, wine, and a rum runner as a signature
Oh, yeah.
cocktail, and
Nice.
because it was red, and our wedding was like red and white, and it was
Nice.
like a thing, and we both like rum, so there's not much I
Yeah.
don't like. So
you got a nice shelf right here. We got a
that's just the bourbon.
that's just bourbon. You got banana beer going down over
That was
here.
all
That-
you.
that-
Man,
yeah.
you hit the nail on the head on that one.
And- Thank
No.
you.
Yeah.
This is like all stouts. This is great. So,
I went to one liquor store. They had like 2 stouts, and I was like, uh-oh, I gotta go somewhere else.
oh, really? You made 2 stops for us too?
Yeah, I was driving home from Boston, and I was like, I'm gonna go buy everything. I found this one place in New Hampshire. It was only craft beer. Those are the coolest stores.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I
I've
mean, it
never been
was-
in one like that. That's cool though.
Yeah, I go there for like when I have like a bunch of guys over or whatever. Sometimes groomsmen, I got them all like crazy beers from all over the place. All these
Yeah.
craft beers. Can't buy them anywhere other than that place. So it's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was at a wedding that had the bar at the venue that they requested the bar be stocked with all these craft beers, and then like all the groomsmen were like challenged with trying one of everything. There was like 10 of them. It was like this thing that they were all competing with to go for the after wedding. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Because they got it, you know, it was open bar for the groomsmen. I don't know if it was for us. It might have been, might not have been. I don't know. But it was a fun wedding. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were all like, "Did you try this one? Did you try that one?" You know, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of the groomsmen, so it was just like it was fun to watch. I tried them all though.
Yeah.
Winning.
Yeah. There you go.
So you guys keep like there's got to be like not a spreadsheet per se, right? I don't know how organized you guys are for something like this, but like common wedding drinks or you know what I mean? Like you guys are like, oh, this happens every time. We're gonna bring this. We're gonna bring this. Like like the heavy hitters and the one-offs. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We like have an inventory, or like I said, a lot of times the client provides us with the alcohol. So, but like, yeah, if we're providing it, we have like an inventory in a liquor locker in our house where we know like we always need to bring this, and, we always no matter what, you always need vodka. If it's not in a signature drink, right? So you're not obligated to bring it. You always need vodka. You always need rum. You need a dark rum. You need tequila. What else is
Triple sec.
whiskey
Or
and
whiskey,
bourbon, because
okay.
there's always gonna be that grandpa that comes up.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Let me get an old fashioned.
We're only
right?
14 years older than you.
I didn't say you were.
Likes the whiskey.
Oh, yeah. No. Digging myself a hole here.
You ever run out of stuff?
Yeah. One time, it was the wildest thing. Miller Lite. We ran out of it 4 different times. I say that because my wife had to leave and get more. 4 different times. Like, we were at the point where we had to go and buy it, like, at a store because...
Wait a minute. 4 times in one venue?
Yeah.
One event.
She went out and had to go buy... I mean, she could only get so many cases and carry so many cases and put them in her truck. And so we had to... Yeah, because Miller Lite was all they were drinking. So we had all these like nice things. Miller Lite was what everybody wanted. It's like you can't prepare for stuff like that, especially.
I feel like as like a bride and groom, you would know that this may happen. Like you have to have this.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't let us know about those. Like, so now we always ask, is there anything specific? Like, someone would be like, oh one family that's coming here only drinks Yingling, right?
Yeah.
So then we'll bring, Yingling or whatever. So it's good to know those types of things.
Right. Yeah.
So
I guess you wouldn't even not even think of it if you weren't that part of the family or whatever. You know what I mean?
right.
Like as the bride and
Exactly.
groom.
Yeah.
Well, plus it makes you guys look that much like you're a
Exactly.
huge bar. That
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you have Yingling? You have this
Exactly.
tiny little truck. and you
Exactly.
cater to everybody there.
Yeah. I know, right? All the predetermined planning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is it always open bar? Is there a cash bar? Do you do both? That kind of thing?
Open, yeah. Now it's open. I mean, we've done cash, depending on the type of event. But now, I mean, we're pretty much only just doing like open bar stuff. So either we bring the alcohol or you provide the alcohol.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I know people that have like had weddings. I'm not paying for everybody's alcohol.
Yeah.
I've had that like conversation.
Cash is if you provide us the alcohol, you're basically just paying us per hour, and so you just charge us. So it's super cost effective for you. But yeah, we have some friends who were our wedding gift is giving them our service. So we have people who work for us, and so they're going out to do the event for us, and they did a stock the bar party. And so what they did was they had a party, kind of like a Jack and Jill or whatever, and everybody just brought liquor, beer, whatever, and
that's
stocked
smart.
the bar.
Yeah.
And so they're providing the alcohol to the bartenders, and so they don't have to pay for the alcohol, and then they just have to pay hourly, right?
And they get the leftovers.
And they get the leftovers, right? If you provide us the alcohol, you get what's left over. So that's the nice thing too. Yeah.
That's awesome. That reminds me of my 30th. My wife threw me a beer tasting 30th birthday party. So everybody brought like a 4 or 6 pack of some wildly different beer, and it filled both the fridges of the house.
Wow.
It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
That's cool.
I have a great wife.
Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah.
Nice.
So have you had to cut anybody off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
like-
that's part of being a bartender.
Yeah. How difficult was it like your first time? Were you nervous or
Not bad.
anything?
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing, not bad, because obviously everybody, at a wedding you want to drink a lot. It's like typically what I don't know why, but
Because
I know
you're not
why.
a good dancer if you don't.
Yeah, exactly, right. So we have had to cut people off because it's like you can't. Well, it's our risk.
Yeah.
Right? That's the other thing about the bar business is
Yeah.
you're liable for a lot.
Just as a tip, when I was getting my bartender license, I talked to one of our family members that has been a bartender for like 30 years at the
Yeah.
time. Now it's even longer. And they were telling me that a lot of times it's just the look of a drink. So like if somebody was at the bar with friends, they just want it to look like you poured them a drink, and you cover the air hole and just do like this light thing, and it looks like you poured them a drink, and then you can kind of like tell them, be like, I get
Yeah.
it, here you go. And
Yeah.
like if it was rum and Coke, it would be
Mostly Coke.
pretty much Coke with a little like, I don't know, oil glaze.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
You know when you're
No,
like pouring, you cover the air hole. So that was just like a tip she gave
Yeah,
me.
if it's open bar,
And
yeah, you can pull that card. I mean, if,
Yeah.
if they're paying cash, I'm gonna be like, all right, look,
Right. Well,
done. You're
you got to
done. I'm not
tell
gonna-
them, regardless. You got to tell them, be like,
Right,
dude, I
right,
get
right.
it.
right.
Here it is,
see, yeah.
just, but that was like cool. This person told me that it just has bailed her out so many times to like not cause a conflict of problem.
Yeah,
Because most
yeah.
of the time it's just they want to look like they're still
Right, and
drinking.
so you can make the drink
But they
without
won't.
alcohol. Too.
Yeah,
and I've
and-
done that. You know,
yeah,
like
so-
somebody wants to keep drinking, make them the mocktail that's or the cocktail that's super cool looking, right?
Yeah.
And just don't put the alcohol in.
Right.
Do you guys usually come with some mocktails just in case, or you make them on the fly?
Yeah, I would say most couples come up with a mocktail and they add that to the signature drink. I mean, there's not a lot of drinkers today. I mean,
Yeah.
to say that, but I mean, a lot of people are kind of like not.
Not
The
like
world's
that?
getting on a health kick a
Yeah,
little
they're
bit.
so-
Yeah.
I mean,
like-
I'm a
yeah,
I own a
kombucha
bar
over
business
here.
here. I'm drinking a kombucha. You know, and
That's
that-
what brought us alcohol.
Yeah, that's right. Us grandpas and our banana beer.
Oh,
Cheers
no.
to that. That's right.
Oh man, you guys have young kids, right? I mean, those are all your kids. How about you?
Those are his. Mine are
He's got
8.
quite a few more than me.
Yeah,
Yeah?
8 to 17. So they're
11.
not all young.
There's no way your grandpa did that.
Right, they're young, but
See?
it's just his word for old.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm not. Yeah, it was just funny your reference. Seemed to connect to us quite a bit.
It's funny. Like my dog's name are Ricky and Lucy. Did you know why?
Why is that? Ricky and Lucy.
Yeah, you don't recognize those two names?
Ricky and Lucy.
This is famous Ricky and Lucy.
No.
So there's a show that was on before we were born, even me,
Okay.
and it was I Love Lucy, and Ricky and Lucy are the husband and wife on that show. And that was like
Okay.
my wife's favorite like show. She watched all the.
Oh, nice.
Have
when
you
they
heard
played
of I
on
Love Lucy?
TV.
I feel like I've heard of I Love Lucy. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's,
Yeah.
that's funny. Barely.
I feel like it might have come up. Like
But
Rick,
yeah.
Rick and Morty.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Robin Williams.
One of
Yeah,
my- yeah. But
So,
yeah.
That's,
Huh.
but it's
That's
it's
cool.
just funny the difference 14 years will make, you know, in
Yeah.
like, references.
This is a long time.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Time flies. My life's great.
Yeah.
So how do they book you?
Just so
You have a Facebook. We showed
got
that
a
earlier.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Instagram.
What
a
are you
website.
heavier on, Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram. Yeah.
I
definitely.
figured that.
I like just like making videos. After pretty much almost, I don't know, when's it- after every event. But if there's an event and we got a cool setup, I'll always like try to make a reel out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the last public event we did, we only had mocktails. That was the fireworks in Killingly at Owen Bell Park.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
and so I made a cool video out of that.
There's a lot of people that go to that.
Yeah, and we just had mocktails because again, it's a public event.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
come with soda and.
But that's cool that
mocktails.
you could do that because it's at least
Yeah.
you're getting
Yeah,
something and
it
some
was fun.
exposure out of it, and I'm
Yeah.
sure you handed out plenty of business cards and stuff like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, and it's
So,
cool, and it's cool to show up in Killingly where we're based. So.
Yeah.
Drove that on the highway.
No. But, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like I should just like get it registered just to do.
Oh, that it's not even registered.
No, it's not registered. Yeah, we just.
Yeah, you could bring it around some of these neighborhoods for Halloween.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
parents.
Mark-
Just
yeah.
show up, give them all head, and then leave.
Oh yeah. Because it's bouncing around.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to. I know it's PG.
easy.
So we we bought the business in November 2 years ago, and
Oh, so you just had your anniversary?
yeah, I don't
Hey,
even
we did
know
too.
what day. Yeah, you did.
We should celebrate with you next year.
Bring the truck in here.
There we go. We thought about driving around our neighborhood. This is kind of like in a suburb area in Killingly, and just like on New Year's Eve, and like just introducing the business and us because we just bought the house that same year. But it's tough to do that, like, and give people alcohol
Well,
on
yeah.
their own property.
I would have
So
thought
we
you-
canned that
I thought
idea.
this story was gonna go with mocktail,
Yeah, no, mocktails would work.
What do you?
or like
is-
you give them the mixer and be like, if you got something
Right.
inside,
Yeah.
vodka would be really good with that.
Is there space in the back of like where all the kegs would go? Like you could drive around on Halloween. The kids can sit in the back of that thing for Halloween.
Oh yeah,
Well, your kids are really young.
I don't have any kids.
Oh,
No kids. No kids yet. It's on.
so they're really.
It's on the list. Yeah, they're really young. Yeah.
Really?
Uh,
It would be cool to get a little trailer for it, something like a
Oh,
little
does it
hay
have a
ride
hitch?
for kids or something.
It
We'll
doesn't
put one
have a
on.
hitch.
I
Oh
know a
yeah,
guy.
you could put one on. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
how
Do
could
little
you
hay rides.
tow, like have that hooked up at an event? That'd be like wicked cool.
So-
A coffee bar.
I was gonna
Sell a
say.
coffee
So
shop.
imagine this: you got a little hay trailer on the back for the kids to ride in,
Yeah.
going from house to house or cul-de-sac to cul-de-sac, and there's hot chocolate line
Ooh,
and like coffee line for the parents.
I like that.
yeah.
Go to like Bunny Lane down
Yeah.
here.
That's where we go.
Halloween.
Hey man, you
Yeah.
want to show up there with me? Happy
Show up.
welcome
We're
you.
there every year.
That would be pretty fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think so.
you would drum up a lot of commotion. Like
Oh,
yeah, it would be
there's somebody. My wife knows the people that had it, but there's a golf cart that drives around that
Right.
has lights on it,
Yeah.
not like Christmas lights or Halloween lights.
Yeah.
And she knows who they are, but I'm like, this is like
Yeah.
perfect.
It's so
Yeah.
good. Yeah. We have somebody in our neighborhood that does that.
Yeah.
They trailer all the kids around. on
There's
the golf
always at
cart.
least one. Long
Yep.
Meadow up in Pomfret, my buddy was the one that had a 4-wheeler with a little landscape trailer, put little bales of hay in it, and the kids would just ride around cul-de-sac to cul-de-sac.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. His kids are older and don't really do that anymore, but
Yeah.
it was fun because all the adults would be on it too.
That's cool.
So
I might have to look into that. I like challenging the bar cart. Like we did the light parades last year, the
Oh, did you?
Killingly
Yeah.
and the Putnam.
Are you gonna do
Putnam.
Putnam this year?
I like just thought about it on Saturday, and I was like,
No,
oh my gosh,
Probably
it's
too
already-
late.
It's not too late.
Oh, we can get
really?
you.
So I can
We
get,
can
I reached out. So I'm gonna get in, but I'm like, I have a week to figure this out. Like it's literally like next weekend, right? It's December 1st, which is
Yeah.
Sunday or Saturday. I don't,
it's Sunday, and I will be there on the
Yeah.
Remax float. I will
Nice.
be dressed in one of the characters from Candyland because that's our theme, Candyland.
Sweet.
And we actually just did our reminder commercial that'll air, like Thursday or Friday. And I was telling everybody, get out there. And if you take a picture of me and post it and tag it. But you got to find who I am. I haven't revealed who I am.
So if you're there and you find him and take a picture,
Sure.
tag us in it and
Yeah.
post it.
Oh, okay.
And there, depending on how many people do it, we'll try and do something for each person that tags and posts a
That's
picture
cool.
of me.
That's
So-
Well, it should be like the most viral thing of Putnam.
You know what?
They dazzle parade.
We'll take it.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, you see so many. I can't. I don't even know how many floats there are in that parade, but it's like
So many.
every local business you could think of. The scouts usually do stuff. The access agency and high school bands. I mean, just like it's so cool to see everybody come out for that, and it's
Yeah.
the Putnam Razzle Dazzle like parade.
Yeah.
It's like, and Winnie's always there with Gary O, who's awesome, and then all the fire trucks. It's just like everybody's there. So
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool. So that'll be this Sunday.
Yep.
I will be dressed.
We'll try to find it. But that's the thing. If you're in the parade, you can't watch the parade.
Yeah.
Like last year, it was
Yeah.
fun to set everything up, but then we were just. I mean, yeah, it's cool to drive in it too. I think that's probably cooler than watching it.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah,
Same here.
yeah.
Is that a two-seater? Can that fit two people?
Well, so we trailered it. So, because I mean,
Oh.
we were gonna drive it, but it was like, how are we gonna? We can put a battery, power all the lights, but what we ended up doing was we put it on a trailer. We had a bunch of Christmas trees in the back of the bed of the truck, and
That's cool.
we lit the truck up too. So like everybody else does,
Yeah.
right? You light the whole truck up, you light the
Yeah.
trailer up,
Yeah, you do as much.
and so we'll probably do that. But everybody was like, you need to drive this through the parade, and I was like, I don't know. I have to figure it out. I gotta figure it out.
Pulled
Yeah.
over at the end of the parade with no
I mean, it's not street legal. That's the other
But
thing,
no,
right?
they close the road.
Yeah, but
it's
you
fine.
You
I
could
mean,
trailer it there and then just ride it for the parade. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
Yeah, yeah.
those like all those parades like that. We went to one in Maine. They have what those like little 3-wheelers.
Oh, that spin out.
yeah, they're not
Yeah.
street.
The adult big
Right,
wheels.
that's
The
true.
adult
Yeah,
big wheels.
that's
That's
the
what it
thing, yeah.
was. And they're
But I
like
think-
motorized big wheels.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all have like
Oh, that's cool.
Plastic
low
tires,
traction
yeah.
plastic tires, and they're spinning
that's
out and stuff.
Yeah, you
And then there's the Shriners with their go karts, and it's nothing street legal in a parade. Like, so
No.
yeah, I don't think
That's
you have
true.
to worry about
That's
that.
yeah.
That's like-
I don't think you have
But
to worry
that's
about it.
true.
Even
You
if
got to
do the-
worry about actually power generation.
But
that was the hard part. Yeah.
if you do like the truck and trailer up in a certain theme, and then have the little truck driving around it as it goes through the parade.
I gotta start thinking.
Yeah.
Thinking cap.
You
on
only
it.
got a week, man.
I got all the stuff from last year. I could just do the same thing.
You don't even really have a week because Thursday's Thanksgiving.
exactly. It's crazy that
But-
like it's already Thanksgiving, but yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
I think the Putnam Business Association really heads that with Winnie and Gary O. So like,
Yeah.
I think they're
They do a great job.
they're the ones
Yeah.
to just reach out to. I
Yeah.
forget how much it is. There's a fee to put your float in, and
Yeah, it's cheap.
then you
Yeah.
just go. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've been in it for Remax Bell Park. I've been in it for Troop 44, Pack 44. I've been in it for Woodstock Building Associates too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I've
Nice.
quite a few years,
Nice.
and I've also been a spectator some years too. So
So you work for Woodstock Building?
I did
Yeah.
right out of high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Shout out to Woodstock Building.
Yeah, they
Associates.
sponsor they're always been a long time sponsor of the Quinnebog Valley Multisport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted
Yeah.
to talk to you about that. Like,
Yeah.
why don't you just give us the download
So-
on that?
Yeah, so Quinnebog Valley Multisport, basically is kind of what it is. It's a multisport club in the Quiet Corner. So cyclists, swimmers, runners. It's a pretty large club. It's been around my entire life. It had a different name when I grew up and I was in the club. It was QV Velo, if you've ever heard that name. But road cyclists, mountain biker, I mean, anything. We're just sort of, promoting the wellness and outdoor activities, right? And
Yeah.
so we, 3 days a week, there's an indoor swim at the Y at 5 a.m., 5:15. If you're an early bird and like to swim in the morning,
Nice.
so you can like go to. We have tons of events. It's mostly cycling, but there's a lot of running.
Makes sense.
Yeah, cycling is far superior, but yeah, it's fun. Yeah. So we're always looking for new members. I mean, if you're a runner, a swimmer, or a biker, it's fun to go out on your own, but it's also way more fun to be with a group.
Right.
And so in the summer we have like 3 or 4 weekly rides that are regular weekly rides at night or on the weekend during the day in the morning.
What's the average distance?
It just varies on the ride. So like we do and there's always options. Okay, so if you're a slower rider,
Yep.
still show up because there'll be a slower group, right? And so there'll be fast group, there'll be slow group. We call them A, B. There can be a C group, so the A group fastest
Yeah,
group,
big
then
private
B,
BC.
and C.
I'm gonna be way further down the alphabet if I join.
Oh man, no, you guys would be fine. You'd be fine. But so there's always the groups, and then there's always the distance too. So like a popular one is we do a long track and a short track ride on Sundays all summer long. So it'd be like a 30-mile ride and a 60-mile ride. So you can choose between that.
Those are both long.
Yeah. You have like a 8, 10.
Well,
4.
you know what? So there are specific events, that if you like, we do this. We call it the Icebreaker. It's in April every year, and that is an event where you. If maybe it's your first time on a group ride, it's really short, really casual, and then afterward, last year we were at Sawdust. This year I think we'll probably be at the courthouse or Sawdust for a free meal. To just get people involved in the club. 20 max on that one. So everybody, it's like a 20-mile loop. But
Where do you start it?
in Putnam?
Okay.
Yeah,
In
typically the club's kind of the heart of the club will pretty much go out of Putnam. We used to be with the bike shop in Danielson, DAS, and Apollo Cycles, but those dissipated. So we're now in pretty much Putnam is where our start point is for most of the rides.
There's a bike place in Putnam.
There
too.
is, yeah, and we're great with them too. And so, but it's like we start at pretty much the municipal lot for a lot of our rides. So if you ever see a bunch of people in a bunch of bright orange jerseys, that's the club, and it's like the municipal lot where the old DMV was.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys have a pace car? I feel like that might be more my speed.
Pace car. I'll drive the pace car.
A little moped. Yeah.
Maybe we'll use your car.
There we
Your
go.
cart.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like some of those cyclists could probably beat it.
Yeah. I mean, so like a fast group ride could be, like a 20 mile an hour average pace, for like 25 miles. So I mean, yeah, it's fast. You can go pretty fast on a road bike.
Yeah, you guys all have like clip-in shoes and stuff.
Clip-in shoes, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody. I'm talking from but not everybody. You don't need clip-in shoes. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need to ride fast. You just need to get on a bike.
Yeah, let me ask you a question about clip-in shoes because
What's
I've
that?
seen almost every person do this.
Yeah.
Have you ever stopped and you couldn't get your shoe out?
So when you learn, I mean, I've been riding my whole life. I learned to clip in probably in middle school, maybe
Oh, wow.
freshman year
Wow.
of high
that's
school.
early.
I didn't even
So
know
I
they clipped in
crashed.
until after high school.
Oh no.
It's like,
So
I've
okay,
never
so
seen that
they used
before.
to be- so they're actually called clipless. So to answer your question, I have fallen a lot when I learned, but it's like second nature.
Yeah.
Like it's just your foot. You kind of twist your back heel and your foot comes out. It's easy. They're called clipless shoes actually, which is weird because you're clipped in, but it's called clipless. Back in the day, it used to be clips because it had where you put your shoe in and it had like a strap and it would strap your foot.
You'd never come out.
jeez.
Right. And so that's a clip, right?
Wow.
So you can't get your foot out unless you really like get your foot out.
So you're riding and you're unclipping at the same time, and then you stop. Is
So,
what I'm assuming.
I mean,
is how
no.
I would try.
Like when I try to, yeah, there are some people who like you gotta red light. You gotta obey if you're riding on the road, you gotta obey that. And I mean, we clip in the woods too. So mountain biking, we're clipped in primarily.
Wow.
Most people do. It's just way more efficient. But if you're coming up to a red light, some people do like clip out one foot prematurely for sure, just to be safe. But like honestly, like the more and more you have experience
You
with
do,
clips,
yeah.
it's just when you take your foot off, you just always kind of flick your heel and it
I
comes
just
out.
meant the ones that you have to do with your hand.
With the hand?
Like
I don't
the-
even know. Like
Yeah.
that.
Dinosaur.
even-
When they invented it, they didn't
Yeah.
even think about having to pull it out.
Oh, yeah.
They're
I don't
just like, yeah, whatever happens.
We're just gonna
happens.
fall with the bike. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
That's
So-
cool. So, do you guys have a Facebook page or something like that?
Yeah, QB Multisport, Instagram, Facebook, website.
wow.
Like all the events are typically, it's a nonprofit organization. So I'm a board member. We have a few other board members.
Sounds like
know.
you're busy.
dude. I mean, it's that, and I got next year I'm gonna be stepping down from the board because I have another like bike community club. I'm also like trying to grow. It's like a whole East Coast thing.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
like
wow.
a cycling.
So those will be really long rides.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm planning to make. I was telling you guys about that. The Vermont it was 212-mile ride, top to bottom of Vermont. And I'm trying to make that a annual thing, sponsored by Bike to East. So maybe next year in September, that would be the case. But that's what I'm trying to do now with this Bike to East thing. I just love cyclists. I love the community, and just the more people that get involved, the better it is. And yeah. I mean, bikes are great. I mean, nobody.
Yeah.
It's hard to. So the mountain bike community, who you had, fully stoked on. He's a member of that. Mountain bikers are great. Mountain bikers are like always in a good mood. You're riding bikes in the woods with your buddies.
Yeah.
Doing something fun.
Do you have both types of bikes?
Yeah.
I saw
always...
that in you. I could read that.
Oh yeah, dude, I ride a unicycle too.
I actually own a unicycle.
You do?
It was a wedding present to my wife.
Oh, nice.
And I still don't know how to ride it.
Oh man,
You bring the unicycle
15
to weddings?
years later.
I literally do. I have. Last month I was a groomsman, and the entrance, how the bridal party.
Yeah.
My entrance was riding in this unicycle, and they screwed me on it. I think.
Yeah.
But the dance floor
We hit
was
a bump.
elevated.
Oh, yeah.
And because it was like out,
Yeah.
and so the dance floor had like a little ramp, and so I didn't know this until I was like, all right, here
Pedaling
comes
up to it.
Zach. And so I'm pedaling up to this as a video, and I get to the ramp, and I try to jump. I just hit the ramp with the top of my tire and just literally like face plant on the dance floor, and I had a drink in my hand. It was
man.
it was a mess.
I can't wait to find that on the internet.
Well,
Yeah.
what's funny is Woodstock Building Associates, one of the first years we did the Razzle Dazzle Light Parade, one of our draftsmen and estimators actually rode a unicycle around the float, like circling it and all around doing figure eights and stuff the entire time without touching the ground once. He did not take a break.
Dude,
Man.
that's your gig.
For the
Your wife
whole
drives
parade.
the
Maybe
cart,
you're right.
and you do the unicycle.
Wow.
Yeah.
How big was his tire? Do you remember? Like, did it look big?
No, it looked like regular.
23.25 inches.
It was like road. To me, it looked like a regular road tire.
It looked like a regular.
Because
okay.
my cousin who does unicycling has like a mud one that he takes
Yes.
to campgrounds and he's like all over the place with it.
like a mountain bike one.
Yeah.
Those have like brakes on them.
I
maybe
don't know if
his
I saw a
doesn't,
break,
I
but
don't know.
his had like to look at it was like a 4-inch wide tire
Yeah,
with
fat tire.
knobbies on it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, holy cow.
Oh, those are for the beach.
Those are so fat tire bikes are they made them for the beach many years ago, but now people ride them everywhere. A lot of my friends right here in the area have fat bikes, and they ride them.
And I've had fat tire beer, so it's kind of
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, how does the cyclist group view e-bikes?
Oh, good question. I own e-bikes. My wife is a
whole garage full.
yeah. You got to have a bike for like every discipline. So there's road biking, there's gravel biking, there's mountain biking, and then there's different parts of mountain biking. So there's mountain biking
There's
when
downhill.
you've downhill, you got a full suspension bike.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got mountain biking where you want to ride a little faster, so you got like a hardtail bike, which is front suspension, skinnier tires, maybe lighter bike. Wow. You got to have a lot of. That's the problem with cycling. You get a lot of bikes, but e-bikes are great. My wife has an e-gravel bike and a couple other e-bikes, but the e-gravel bike is kind of what we use the most because she'll come out on a gravel ride with me, and she's not, isn't like as into it, right? And so, but if she wants to ride with me, and we both want to enjoy ourselves, it's a perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
She can ride whatever pace really I want to put out or whatever, and she can be with me, and it's still pedal assist. It's not.
Right.
It's not like a throttle.
It's just easy.
Yeah.
It basically like multiplies. There's different modes, but you can have it multiply your power by 3 times, 5 times, however much. And so one pedal stroke is going to send you a certain amount of distance.
There's some that you have to pedal because I know
Yeah.
people that own them. Like you have to pedal or it won't go anywhere.
And
Yeah,
that's
You have
hers.
to at least be pushing it.
It just helps you.
And then there are others that You can sit still and it'll go.
Just the throttle. And so the ones with the throttles aren't really looked at in a good way, I'd say, in the.
So that would be frowned upon for me to show up.
Yeah,
Well,
don't get one.
I mean, you could. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody views the e-bikes different. When they first came out, it was across the board. Everybody was kind of like skeptical. But now, if you have knee problems,
Yeah.
Yeah.
an e-bike, because
Right.
it gives you an extra more power.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
And you're getting outside, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
still
that's
getting
how I
fresh
look
air.
at it. You know, there's a lot of mountain bike communities and trail networks that didn't allow them because they thought people were going to be ripping up the trails like it was like a dirt bike. No,
It's electric, man.
No.
It's a battery that's like
Not
this
at all.
big.
Hey.
not at all.
We have electric cars that will go way faster
Yeah,
than
I'll
any
give you
gas
that.
powered
True.
car ever.
Yeah.
So
It's fair.
I get the
Yeah.
skepticism and okay, let's check it out first before we.
There are those electric dirt bikes that have
Yeah.
taken.
Oh,
off.
really?
Have you seen those?
No,
I
but I've
think
seen
I-
Teslas that go from 0 to 60 in like
2
10
seconds, yeah.
and-
10?
Yeah.
Did you say
I meant
10?
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
A second.
Like 2.6.
Yeah, whatever.
Like insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good. I have a stationary bike.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it right under my standing desk and I bike while I work. And
Oh, money, dude. There you go.
I have a stationary bike. It's good for hanging out laundry.
Yeah.
The most exercise I've gotten from it is moving it from one room to another.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you have bikes at home?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
stationary bike?
Yes. We always had a Peloton.
Oh, okay.
But the Peloton is a ripoff.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Yeah, I know they can't be sponsored by Peloton.
We had an email about sponsorship from them. Damn.
Guess we'll just erase it.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like you buy this really expensive bike. My wife loved it, but you have to the monthly membership is like $60 a month
Yeah.
to use it. So
Yeah.
you can't even use it unless you spend that, and that's like more than a gym membership.
You're telling me the pedals don't even move unless you spend 60.
Well, okay, you can move the pedals.
Okay.
But like if you actually want to like do the classes,
Yeah.
the reason why you
Right.
bought it was so you
Right.
can
Engage
Yeah.
with
the screen and
Yeah.
you can
Yeah,
you know
like-
it adjusts all your
It changes it.
They
Yeah.
have
It
like
made it
live time rides like all over the
Yeah.
world.
Exactly.
I have family members that are in Maine and love their Peloton
Yeah.
because they're in Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
it's
it's
like
great.
they're older, or one of them's older, and like, you know, he did triathlons and marathons and stuff forever, but the Peloton has kept him in the game because when he retired up to Maine, it's like a lot of hills,
Yeah.
a lot of different, you know,
Right.
I mean,
terrains.
shout out to Peloton. The reason I have my stationary bike is because my brother bought a Peloton.
Exactly. Well, that was the thing during COVID. Everybody bought a stationary bike. That was everybody
Yeah.
wanted to buy one.
Yeah.
It was really hard to buy one. Peloton stock made a lot of people a lot of money.
Yeah, and then it plummeted.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, what is
What?
this?
We can go outside again?
Exactly. So yeah, I
You
use
still
this,
use it?
well, we got rid of the Peloton this past year, and we got a different stationary bike that you don't have to pay $60. So basically, this one you can just connect it via Bluetooth because you can't do that with a Peloton bike. So you can put an iPad, and you can. There's a lot of apps out there where you can stream
Right.
like a virtual riding, and it'll do the same thing Peloton does, but it's not like a live class.
Right.
But also, there's apps out there that do that, and it will just
Yeah.
connect to your bike. And so Peloton is a monopoly. You can only connect to the Peloton network, right?
A lot like Apple phones and Apple other
Exactly.
products. They're
Yeah, we all drink the Kool-Aid.
I don't. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm Droid.
I mean, yeah, I think it works for some. It doesn't work for others. Like my brother has no kids. He's not married.
Yeah.
$60 a month for him was nothing, and he wanted somebody to guide him,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so he was like, "That's
And,
what I
yeah.
need."
And the idea, like, if you are, you know, you don't know your skill level, or something happens, you just step off the bike and you're,
Yep.
you know, in your house.
Yep.
It's not like you're
Yep.
stranded 40 miles out. Like, "Oh,
That's the thing. Yeah.
I pulled a hammy.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I go to JPF. Do you guys go to gym?
On Main Street.
Yeah, yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that gym.
No,
I mean,
I'm
they-
more of an introvert, so everything I do is at home without anybody.
Yeah.
yeah, we have another gym coming on, and
Oh, yeah?
New Year's. It's the Monday before New Year's Eve.
Nice.
I don't know if they have bikes.
Oh yeah, they have cycle classes.
Oh, okay.
It's
I didn't know.
Ashling Gym.
Yeah,
over
down
here.
right there on Route 6.
Yeah. So
Oh.
they're like literally like
Actually, if you took
Well,
a right onto Route 6, they're like right
Yeah, you got to pass the liquor store, which is tough for me, and, and then you hit Ashling Gym. And,
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's the gym now, and also a dojo for jujitsu.
That's cool.
So
That's cool. Every
yeah,
gym around
they're
here has
awesome.
like a different offering. You know,
Yeah.
you get the
Yeah.
CrossFit gyms.
Yeah, they do CrossFit. And
Yeah, so that's
yeah.
cool. I mean,
And they're 24 hours, so you can.
the 24-hour
in
gym.
whenever
that's nice.
Is another
There's those.
package.
The YMCA, you've got a pool.
Yeah.
Right. You've got a sauna, a steam room, a hot tub. So there's a gym for literally everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I used the steam room the most when I joined the Y.
Yeah.
Probably should have been more exercise equipment, but man, the steam room was so good.
We did swimming lessons for the kids.
You didn't know? Oh,
So,
you the kids. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's about. I actually played basketball indoors in the winter. That was kind of
Oh, yeah.
cool for a little
Yeah,
while.
they have-
Shoot around indoors. But
Yeah. Yeah. That's also true. They got the basketball
oh.
court.
shout out to the Y. Wednesday they have a blood drive going.
Hey,
Yeah.
all right.
I'm
Is
good.
it Red Cross?
Yeah. I don't know who else does blood drives.
Well, I don't even want to talk about it.
Red Cross blood drive at the Y this Wednesday. I'm signed up. So
Okay.
Sweet.
But-
Got to give your blood before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
it's like
Nobody's going to want it after.
I picked the day out and not knowing what day it was. It was just like, oh, there's nothing on the calendar. So I was like, okay. And then you pick it out. I pick it out like months in advance.
Oh,
so
okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
like forget to give blood when I'm able to. And I was like, huh, I know I can't drink alcohol now on that Wednesday. That's going to be rough.
Well,
For
listen,
Thanksgiving.
Thursday, you'll be good Thursday. You can just
Thursday I'll
reward
be all
yourself.
right,
Yeah,
but
gotta
like you're not supposed to do anything extenuous or
Yeah.
lift anything heavy afterwards, and I'm like right in the morning, so it should be fun. But if you can give blood on Wednesday at the Y, and
Yeah, nice.
I don't know if they're fully booked or not, but it's
I think you can. Yeah, they usually have some openings. You can
yeah
fill up.
usually, but yeah, that's one thing I always try to do is give blood as often as I can. But-
Right. I mean, it's if you got the blood, you can give it.
If you have healthy blood,
you got That's good.
And if you have a good type.
Yeah, that's true.
O negative, so
you're an O negative. That's rare, right?
And I
Yeah.
don't have a certain some other thing in it, so it's like even more. I forget what they.
You're like
call
a
it.
unicorn.
There's a genetic part to it that's not there that makes it better, I guess. I can't remember what it's called, but I don't have that in my blood either. So they're like,
That's sweet.
I was like, keep drinking alcohol, right? And they're like, yeah. But it goes to babies because they don't have to check as many things. So it
Yeah,
can go
yeah.
to a baby that's in emergent need
Gotcha.
to be donated to. So that's kind of cool.
You're gonna generate so much blood on Thanksgiving. Think about it. You're gonna regenerate. I mean, I used to love giving blood in high school because they'd like take your blood and then they'd let you go sit down and eat potato chips, and
Yeah.
oranges.
And if you were in high school, you got out of class.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Had
exactly.
to be 18, though.
You
They,
had to be 18.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
When I was, we had to be 18.
I don't know.
yeah.
So it was only seniors could do it if you were 18.
Really?
Yeah. I was a 18-year-old senior. I don't know. Did you have to? Could you get? I feel like I donated before then, but it must have just been 2 or 3 times during senior year that they did it at Ellis.
Mm.
Because I definitely went multiple times. The first time I was like laying on the mat, like, what did I just do?
Oh, yeah.
For like an hour, like dizzy and just like, oh my God, the nurse came.
It sucks
a
it out.
mess.
I mean, it sucks everything. A lot of
It
energy
was
out of you.
such a mess. Yeah.
I mean,
and
they take your blood.
Yeah.
Like, they're
and
taking-
and I was like, so that was definitely during soccer season, the first one in the fall, and they actually ended up canceling soccer practice because so many of us had given blood from the soccer team,
Smart.
and I was a mess, and I was like, somebody drove me home. I left my
wow.
I left my vehicle at Ellis Tech that
Jeez.
night because I was like,
Wow.
I was so bad, and then during basketball season, I was fine. When we gave blood during basketball season, I was fine. It was like total, like I just like prepped better for it. You got to eat, you gotta
Yeah.
drink water, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Gotta be hydrated.
yeah,
That's like the biggest.
Yeah. So and that like we used to like squeeze the ball so you could
Yeah,
give
yeah,
it
I get you.
faster.
Oh god.
Even now, like my personal best is like 8 minutes, 10 seconds or something like
Really?
that. Yeah. So like it goes quick now because I know eat red meat the night before and drink a lot of
Oh, I
water.
didn't know about the
So
red meat.
red meat's for the iron part.
Okay.
So like I'm like almost to the point where they won't let me give it because I have too much iron. But a lot of people are borderline anemic or whatever, so they go there, they test,
Yeah.
and then they don't have enough iron. So like they're just like eat red meat, so you're good. A lot of nutrients in that to give blood and like plus having like if you go out drinking, you want a good base.
Right.
Same thing if you're giving blood, you want a good base level of food and nutrients in you.
That makes sense.
But
We've gone quite far from Salute Bar Cart.
Talking about blood.
well, we're in the athlete health zone.
I know.
So,
This is what happens.
Yeah.
We did the weave.
Tangents.
this is a podcast.
You gotta weave.
That's
We didn't
it.
really weave as much as you went directly right back to, hey guys, we got to bring it back to sloop bartending.
I'm just saying.
Blood alcohol level content. We can talk about that. There we go.
Oh
that's
man!
good.
So you have several vendors, venues in the area, right? Are you
Yep.
guys trying to get in more or?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely we have a lot of venues in the area.
Yeah.
But I mean, once you kind of build a relationship with a few,
Yeah.
and it's you know the venue, you know how to get in, set up. We're hiring people now to do some events for us, and so when we
Nice.
do them, when we're if we're going to, let's say, Evergreen Farms, I'm just gonna keep saying Evergreen Farms.
Yeah.
We know what the setup needs to be every single time we go there, and so we can hire somebody to do that because we can show them. And
Yeah.
it's worked out pretty successfully. So
I wonder if there's breweries and wineries around here and distilleries that have like food truck events,
yeah,
and then there's kids. So I wonder if you could go to those and set up with the kid drinks.
yeah, that's
Maybe
true.
That might be a way to kind of expand
That'd be
and
fun.
push different events
Yeah,
because they do. I mean, like shout out to Taylor Brook Winery.
yeah, Taylor
They
Brook's
have
great.
amazing food trucks
Oh,
and
yeah.
events
Every time.
there.
Every time.
And they're the first property in Connecticut to have both a winery and a brewery. So
Oh, they're the first.
yeah, they were the first.
Wow.
So and that was one of her goals. And
Yeah, I don't
she-
know if I've been there
she did
since.
it,
When did
yeah.
the brewery get there? 'Cause I don't know if I've actually been there. since-
4,
4
5
or
years.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
But their space is so unique because like I don't want to say free for all, but essentially it's outside and they have grass. You can bring your own
Yeah.
food, do a picnic,
Exactly.
kids play.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people that
Yard
have
games.
kids, this is like gold, right?
Yeah.
Yard games. They have the wine slushies.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
dude,
good.
that's the reason I have gone there. Wine slushies. Yeah.
Yeah, they have both, and it's a really pretty property. A lot of weddings, and they have a lot of they grow like a lot of grapes, but I think they serve more than their capacity of growing. So
Yeah.
I mean, they have a full couple of fields of grapes and stuff. So it's really cool to like
That's cool.
just go up there and be around the whole
Yeah.
thing. And they-
Yeah. You don't have a lot of places like that where you get that like winery feel.
Yeah.
You got
They
the
have like
plants right there.
Adirondack chairs in like random
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
It's super relaxing. Just go up there and hang out and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So
That's cool.
yeah, that would be cool if you could do like the like different
yeah.
kids beverages or something like that for when they have because they have live bands and big events there. And
Yeah,
stuff.
that would be cool.
It's cool.
I'll hit them up. I've talked to them before about
Yeah.
getting the wine. So
Oh,
okay.
I have talked to them.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually the wine that we used at our wedding. So
Yeah,
yeah, we
yeah.
had it as part of our centerpiece. So
Nice.
Taylor Brook wine. So
Nice.
yeah.
That's cool. It's great. It's good wine.
Yeah.
And I just love buying local too. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
it makes it taste better.
Yeah.
I mean, I go to Black Pond a lot. I love the food, but it just everything is so perfect.
Did you go to their Oktoberfest?
No.
Yeah,
no, I
we
didn't.
did. Yeah. They had like
No.
a whole thing in the woods because they own like all that property down
Yeah. Oh,
below the
really?
parking lot. Yeah.
Dang. That's cool.
And so they're really creating like this crazy cool
Yeah.
outdoor space there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I also love running into people like in places like
Right,
that. Like
yeah.
just friends or community members who you don't typically see. If you run into them at Walmart or Target, it's sort of
Yeah, I usually run and hide.
yeah, exactly. Right, at the grocery store you run and hide.
Yeah,
But it's fun to run in at a brewery
Yeah.
or a winery.
It's different.
Cool. It's
Kyle's
nice.
made the comment before. Doesn't like walking around with me in public.
Oh yeah.
I'm more of an introvert. I like to leave places on my time.
Well, you
all right.
you got the realtor thing going.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
And I just love talking to people. So I
Yeah.
was like, I'm the guy. Like, hey, what's happening?
Yeah, exactly. Pretty soon, you guys aren't going to go anywhere without being recognized.
Oh, I was in Walmart and someone goes, "Community Workbench. How do I know that?" And I was like,
Oh wow.
"I don't know. How do you know that?" But it was
Nice.
one of his relatives.
It was one of my relatives. Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a lot of relatives too. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is.
but-
But yeah, I've gotten really good at hiding, so I'm not too afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's awesome that you kind of doing the service end of things and also just pushing the local with your local business. That's great.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, just keep you're gonna find success in your small business if you keep supporting the ones around you, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
It's kind of
Everybody brings everybody up. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, we have we kind of lived all over since we graduated high school. Sorry, college. I mean, technically we moved away for college, so sure. But like we've got a bunch of different jobs now. We're pretty stable with our careers, and like for the first time in a long time, well, in our lives, we were like, we're gonna stay in Northeast Connecticut.
Nice.
Like I just like the people and the community, and now with Salute, like the first year in business, we were like, we could probably take this to like New Hampshire. We could take this to another state, but now it's like no. We're gonna stay here.
Well, once you build that relationship with these other businesses, right? Then it's like,
and
and then you got to start all over. Plus, then they have to start over, right?
Exactly.
They like rely on you just as much as you rely on them.
Yeah.
So, have you ever been double booked?
Yeah. We didn't.
So somebody doesn't get the truck?
no, I think double
Yes.
book meant like he had a morning event and then.
Oh
after-
no.
No, I mean at the same time.
No.
We have one coming up. I think it's 2020. So we're booked. I mean, we're booking 2026.
Holy
Wow.
it's-
moly!
Yeah. And we actually got a request for 2027.
Well,
And I
we're
don't-
booked through February, and I was like, dang.
People plan weddings. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
Right,
thing.
yeah.
Right.
And alcohol sometimes is the last thing people think about because like a lot of people will book the venue, that's the big thing, and then get the dress and get all those things, but and the food, but then they for some reason in the back of their mind they're like, oh, the venue, there'll be alcohol, there's a bar.
Yeah.
But a lot of times the venue, I mean, there's only a few that actually provide alcohol, so you gotta book a mobile bar.
Yeah.
Right.
So sometimes it is last minute, very last minute. But other times, 2026. And we have one coming up in 2025 where someone is not getting the bar card because we're at another event and then we're doing their event as well.
But you're still providing the bartenders.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
that
they're
makes
providing
sense.
us the alcohol. So it makes it easier. We're providing our employees. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. It'll be a first.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
It'll be bad.
Yeah.
it's just like you supervise one, your wife supervises the other one.
We
kind
could
of
we
thing,
could play it
that
like
kind of
that.
thing, yeah.
I mean, we have had a couple people work for us. We trust them. Like they're
Yeah.
great. Licensed
Nice.
bartenders who do an amazing job. So
And weddings, man, you kill it, right?
oh
Just,
man,
like,
the
tips.
The tips
Ugh.
are. We were in Spain the last.
You took the cart to Spain.
No, we went to on a business
flew,
trip in
coach.
Spain. Yeah, and we had an event at a local venue, and we hired people. People on our team, whatever you want to call it. We have like 6 people that
Yeah.
we can reach out to.
Yeah. Nice.
And they did absolutely amazing on tips. Like I don't even know if I should put the number out there, but it's wild.
You know.
That's awesome.
I mean, but tips are amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and if you're in a wedding, everybody wants to support the bartender.
Yeah,
because
they're
it's
way more
such a good
generous.
mood.
Yeah.
Way
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But rightfully, the bartender's working much harder than they would in some other places, right? Because
Correct.
it's
Yeah.
just nonstop.
Oh yeah.
Well,
so,
you got cocktail hour.
Yeah.
And
Right.
as soon that's the thing. why we strive away from cash bar, unless there's like 3 of us, because if it's cash, you got the check coming
Yeah.
out, and so when it's open, it's a lot faster. But cocktail hour, if you got 125 guests, I mean, if you're not,
And they all come in at the same time.
they all come in at the
that's
same
right,
time.
yeah.
Like-
You've got a line. You
Yeah.
got to get through everybody, and then the first break you get is when everybody sits down for dinner, and then you get another big, wave when they after dinner for the dance floor,
Yeah.
and then it just sort of trickles.
Yeah.
I mean, by like 8 o'clock, we kind of cut off service most of the time at like 9,
Mhm.
just because you don't want to give.
Do you have to bring water? Like water?
Oh yeah,
That's a
yeah.
water.
We bring
serve
water. The food caterers always have water too,
Oh, that's-
typically. So there's plenty of water. Yeah, and the food caterers, I mean, plenty of food. And so.
Yeah, in my old age, I do drink water, drink water, drink water.
Oh yeah, yeah. We now put like a big jug like on the bar with cups.
Yeah.
People used to ask us for water, and now it's like if the food caterer didn't
Yeah.
have a jug set up, but now
Yeah.
it's like we always just jug set up.
That's good.
That way.
Now, I went to a wedding out in when my buddy got married out in Vale, and I thought this was brilliant. The 2 bartenders who didn't look of age, but that's neither here nor there. They had their Venmo QR code out.
That's a thing.
Yeah. So do you guys do that?
Mhm.
Because I thought I almost never have cash. I had cash, but I was like, this is brilliant because now you can just throw them however much, $50 at the end of the night,
Yep.
and tip them. And I feel like they're probably tipping more, right?
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, I'll just throw you a chunk of change at the end of the night, not a
Right.
dollar here, not a dollar, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you don't even remember how many times you went up there.
We do that with the Venmo, and when we first started doing it, we were doing it to our business Venmo account, and I was like, "Crap, I'm getting charged for these tips." I mean, they're tips.
Yeah,
They're not business income.
Yeah.
So they were getting counted as business income. Like, crap, they're tips.
Dude, I like how you're so open about like a little mistake. You learn.
Oh,
and
man,
learn.
we
Dude, that's
made
what
a
I
lot of
love about
mistakes.
the bench is when people are
Yeah.
open about that and like everyone else can learn from that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. I'm glad you said that. Thank
Yeah, no, there's we've made mistakes with that. We've made mistakes with like I said, the Miller Lite. I mean, is it a mistake? I don't know.
That's a tough one
It's
to foresee.
Yeah.
you.
But you learn. You learn
Yeah.
every single event. I mean, we've done probably 40 something events probably now.
Right.
And every time you do one, you learn something different.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is cool. So, and that's why like my wife and I were thinking about eventually stepping away, because we love our full-time careers.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we envision ourselves doing, but we built this beautiful thing, and it's like, how can we step
Yeah,
away?
but you could step back
That's what we'll do.
and
That's
and
what we'll
really not have to do the events.
Yeah.
Like I worked for a guy that made kettle corn,
Mhm.
and I was 14, so do the math, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so he had brought he was like the first kettle corn guy in the area. He brought it from California,
Yeah.
and it got to a point where he stepped away.
Yeah.
He would have to go and set up because he'd have to bring the kettle and stuff. But he literally stepped away. He would set it up and then leave.
That's
And he
awesome.
would come and
Yeah.
get it like the day later. So your time with that part of the business shrinks, right? You want to start a family, you want to do other things, but you still get the benefit of it.
Correct.
But that's like one of the things a lot of people don't realize is like when you're an entrepreneur, you start a business, like a lot of times there is a time to start your exit plan.
Yes.
And whether it's selling it to reap the benefits or it's, stepping away because you've built such a great team, you have that benefit of, taking a little bit of a back seat, and then having it be more of a residual income and
Yep.
you're a board member or whatever that,
Yep.
so that's awesome. Like that's one of the biggest benefits of going out on your own is to be able to generate that type of residual income or whatever. And,
Yeah.
I would definitely keep that on your goal list,
Yeah, for sure.
And it's great if you're passionate about it and you just love doing it. You're not really going to work if you love doing it, that
Right.
kind of thing.
Right.
But, yeah, I feel like every entrepreneur should have some sort of goal or plan like that
Yeah.
in place, and not to, we've had other people say, don't ask me about that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And-
really?
And
Yeah.
I get it.
We didn't ask
Because-
you before if we could ask you about that.
I'm
Is there anything
open.
you don't want me to ask you? But
Yeah.
like, there have been other people that we've talked to that like they do want to be more of a management role.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm fine. I'd never have to ask you anything you don't want me to ask you. But like, they, and that's fine. But I was like, just so you know, almost everybody on that side of the bench has been that way. And
Yeah.
and it's part of
Mhm.
entrepreneurship. Like,
Yep.
can you get this thing alive,
To that point.
and then to
Yeah.
the point where it's living on its own? It's like a kid.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's part of the
Yeah.
lifespan of a business.
It's tough when you're somebody who's always got new ideas going through your
Yeah.
mind. You know? Like there's always new opportunities I'm
Yeah.
trying to chase. My wife keeps my head from chasing them sometimes.
Yeah.
But like this was one of them at first. Like we were like, and then we did it. But
Yeah.
there's always, and then obviously every time I do one of those things, it takes away
Yeah.
time from that.
Mm.
Plus, we got to juggle our full time careers that we're trying to grow. So it's just, yeah. I mean, family is the next thing for us.
Yeah,
Like we want to start the family, so that is the next most important thing on our list. So I'm putting aside all this like crazy ideas I have. Do that, and then see what happens. I mean,
Right.
because things are gonna change. I mean,
Yeah.
you get some kids.
Yeah.
I don't, but like when you have kids, everything changes.
Yeah.
Your whole view on how you're gonna.
Yeah, you're
operate.
gonna need the
Right.
money from the business.
It's either that, right? It's either that, or it's like you
Yeah.
or you maybe step away and you operate it, and you're just
Right.
an operator.
Yeah.
So and then you have other people just completely manage it, and you're just
Right. And if you're a good employer, I mean, that speaks novels about you that
Yeah.
you have this team that can work without you breathing down their neck.
Right.
And like we've had others, especially Two Dogs Coffee, they allow they have somebody that specializes in syrups. You know what I mean? You wouldn't
Yes. Yeah,
necessarily
yeah,
expect that from a barista, but they let her have her freedom, and she makes these amazing, pretty healthy syrups that go into the seasonal signature coffee drinks and whatnot. And
Yep.
it's that's really cool to have somebody like that. And then also like that person can feel that like it's my position. There's that old
They're empowered.
yeah, and there's that other old saying like anybody can be replaced, but if you give somebody that sense of ownership over their position where they're the creator or creative part of that
Yeah.
really can't be replaced, and
Right.
and then that kind of makes them, I feel like feel better, feel more purposed, that kind of thing. And,
yeah.
I just think that's just kind of the way. Same thing with, you working with any other bartender or bar.
I would love to
other
have a bartender
businesses.
who would eventually want to take the business over.
Yeah.
That would be like, I mean, we're not at that point yet where we're gonna have like an employee like that. We just have like a call list, but
Yeah.
that would be like
Do you find it hard to find people?
no. My brother and my sister-in-law are both bartenders,
Oh, okay.
licensed bartenders. We have two other friends, couple, both licensed bartenders, and then we have two other people who, are just always like, hey. I mean, we did like post like we're hiring, and we had so many people like, it was just like,
And you're like, oh, I see where we went wrong.
yeah, I mean, which is great, and we have a list of all those people that reached out. But we're, you can't just hire everybody, a new person every time you want to hire somebody.
Right,
So we
right,
got to
right.
stick with, people we trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, man, thank you so much for reaching out. Thanks to Eric from
Eric
AC
is the
Restore
best.
for hooking
Yeah.
this up. Obviously you're welcome here anytime. Your wife too, if
We got to get
if
her
she,
on.
if she wants to.
Well, she'll watch this now, and she'll
She
be
did,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
I could
Yeah.
do that."
And we don't have to show her. If she's that shy, she can just sit here and enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've had other people just sit
Yeah.
here in a
Oh,
folding
really?
chair and just
Yeah.
hang out.
Oh, yeah.
She'll we'll get her on.
But the other thing, it's like going out to dinner without dinner, and we're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's not really like a pointed interview. People have asked me, like, oh, do you have a list of questions you're going to ask? I'm like, no.
No.
Yeah, no.
Just like-
Honestly, guys, shout out to you guys because this is incredible. Like
Oh,
I've been
you.
listening to everything. Right, I'm here in this studio. Studio is amazing. Okay,
you.
it's hard to tell. Sometimes it's hard to tell on the video. This is really nice in here, and you both are I mean, I feel like I'm on Joe Rogan.
Oh man,
I got Joe Rogan and Jamie over here.
dude.
man.
I'll have to walk you outside. He will not make it through that door. There's no way.
Oh man.
I do watch a lot of Joe Rogan, but actually one of my newest favorites is Theo Vaughn. I like his style a lot too.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's fun.
So
It's laid back. This is very laid back. There's
Right.
A lot of
That's-
podcasts.
I mean,
where
that's
they're
how
just-
it's
the
how
whole
it
idea.
should be, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a casual conversation, and it gets away from like the structured. And
yeah,
it's just
it's
like,
not just sound bites.
Yeah.
It's long form. I feel like if someone that was the whole idea. Like I feel like if I interview somebody or have a conversation with somebody, people listening would feel like they know them. Like now they know somebody in that business.
Right.
You know what I mean?
yeah, more
than-
apt to book you.
More than just
Yeah.
calling some random number because the Yellow Pages said that they do that
Yeah,
service or
exactly.
product,
Right.
or whatever, you know.
Yellow
Pages
still
is-
exist. Do
I'm
you
sorry.
know what the Yellow Pages
Yellow
are?
Pages,
I
they
do
used
know
to
what
have
they
these phone books.
I do.
with all the phone numbers.
My
in it.
parents had them when I was in middle school or something, maybe elementary. I remember them. I don't even know how you guys went without Google Maps, like on the phone.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
I
without
actually had
dude,
to go.
I was a paramedic in Boston.
Oh.
Those didn't exist.
Yeah.
You had to know how to read a map when you turned the page. So you had to. It's not like you turn the page and up there's the road. Like
Yeah.
that's not how it works when you
Wow.
have like just a book. It's not good.
Yeah, I remember just having like a list of routes going to see my now wife when she was in college. It was just like
Wow.
hit 295 south, hit 95 north, hit. You know what I mean?
So wait, so
It's
you
like-
never had to go onto MapQuest, print out instructions.
Never. I never did.
Did you ever
Yeah.
have the old GPS that only did GPS?
I remember my dad having one.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Because my dad has a similar job as me, where we drive a lot, and he always had one. But I was a Boy Scout my whole life, so
Okay,
I love looking
yeah.
at maps. And I went to my undergrad degree is in outdoor education. So I did
wow.
literally
Really?
semester-long
What do you do with
courses.
that?
Yeah, right. I did like semester-long courses on like navigating, orientation,
Yeah.
rock climbing,
Yeah.
all these different crazy things. Yeah, medical stuff like wilderness first responder, which is like the EMT for the woods. That's like a whole semester I spent doing that.
Wow.
And you graduate, and you're then pretty much qualified to kind of
You're a
wanna be a-
wilderness explorer.
like a mountain guide.
You're
So out of
qualified to be
college,
a mountain guide.
I was a mountain bike instructor and mountain bike guide
Okay.
up in Vermont
That's
and
cool,
stuff
though.
like that right out of school. But yeah, but so I like looking at maps. But can I look at a map and figure out
Chart
how
the
to
course.
get like somewhere? Like, oh man, that's on the road.
Well, I don't. The map, it's like if you get a foldable map, right? They're
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah,
That's easy. You're like, I'm here. I need to go here.
Yeah.
It's the ones that are in book form that are this big.
Spiral
And
Right.
book
you're in
called
Boston, and
Atlas.
you're
Yeah,
like,
no.
okay, so I have to turn the page now, and you expect the road to just continue. That's not how it works. To this day, I still don't know how to do it.
yeah. I
Somebody-
couldn't imagine being a paramedic.
Yeah, it
and
was
being
not
like,
fun.
we need to go
Yeah.
there now.
Oh, it was not. It's not good.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah.
We've dated ourselves quite a bit
Oh,
today.
for sure.
Oh man, I'm sorry to do it to you.
You know, you're not the first. You won't be the last.
yeah. It is what it is. We have a good time. either
That's
way.
it. Exactly.
So,
Good.
but anyway, Jordan, Zach, bartending, a la carte.
Yep.
You want to shout out your phone number or
Yeah.
where you can reach you? One
Yeah,
more
you
time?
can reach us at 802-535-8359. You can email us at sloopbarcard@gmail.com. Our email is not that fancy, unfortunately. We got
Facebook, right?
Facebook,
It's the word
Instagram.
salute.
salute
First
is
of all,
in
that's
it.
pretty fancy.
Yeah. But honestly, if just go to our website, sloopbarcard.com, and you can look at, we got all the information on there when it comes to pricing and all the packages, and then you can fill out the form there, and we typically get back to you really quickly. So,
Oh, cool.
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Sweet.
Thank you so much for coming on. At the end, oh, I'm reading the wrong part. That's my note. Thanks for watching, everyone. Join us Monday night at 6 p.m. as usual when we, December 2nd, when we go live with Ryan Howley, the owner of Chop Shop in downtown Danielson. A great barbershop, and they're coming on here not only to promote the barbershop, but also they're doing a huge fundraiser for this area, toys and other stuff. We'll hear all about it from Ryan. So anyway, thanks for watching. As always, buy local, hire local, dine local, volunteer local, donate local, and have great days.